So what I have is not really a poetry, but I think Shrikant sir ने एकदम starting में बोला था, like when you are who you are, you will be the happiest you ever know. And I think just a few thoughts on that. Like there's no poem. It's just things that I see around myself, things that I just like I'm doing on a daily basis, right? So like a few months back, I think it's been a couple years since like I started working and I moved to Bangalore, and then life was just very fast. It was changing and everything was like, it was a whole whirlwind. Like first was moving to Bangalore, then settling into work, and then settling into work, you're always chasing promotions. You always want to do like the best that you can, right? And then when you're doing that, in that process, I feel like sometimes you don't know that you are also changing as a person. Like मैं काम के बारे में सोच के, friends के बारे में सोच के, ये सोच के कि I need to live the best life that I want, you tend to forget how you're also changing. Like this person that I'm becoming, I don't know who this is. And then what happens is, I don't know if it happened sooner for me or it happens at a later point for other people, but you reach a point where you feel like things around you have settled down, but then you look into the mirror and the person that you see, you don't recognize that person. This person is behaving in ways you have not seen her behave before. And that makes you feel so nervous, right? Like you don't know, like कई बार आप खुद ऐसी चीजें करने लग जाते हैं, आपको लगता है कि ये तो मैं नहीं करती, this is not me. And I think that is when it suddenly dawns on you that I have become a person and I do not know, I have no recognition of this person. So the thing is that when you're, when you go out into the sea and you're undertaking a voyage, there is a very beautiful movie called Moana. It's a very old animated movie, and there is a song in it that I see the horizon and I want to go touch it and I don't know how far it'll take you. And sometimes you go chase that horizon and you realize that you're left in the middle of the sea because you don't have any anchors. And then you're just swimming around in water, not knowing where the shore is, not knowing which direction is it. It's the middle of the sea. You don't know who you are. And I think that was a journey that I was on a while back. And that's where I realized that I had no anchors. I had nothing. And then that is when like I started on a search for myself. And what happens in movies and other shows is that when they talk about search for yourself, it seems like you need to go to the mountains to do it. Or you need to be at the beach and then the sun will set a certain way and that you will recognize and it has happened. But more often than not, I think it's very different. Like for me, it was very unglamorous. It happened in BMTC buses, in the to and fro journey from office to work. This was also around the time where I got a place which was like further away from work. And contrary to popular belief, I feel like that has been great for me because when work was so close to my house that I could just walk there, I would just go to office, come back, and then start working again. So there was no there's a concept of a liminal space. There's no space where you're not doing anything. And I think with the commute, I got that. I got to just sit in a bus with strangers who don't judge me, who know nothing about me. And I could cry. Like there's so many times I've just cried not knowing what to do, where I am, what am I doing in life. So that bus for me was like meditating in a mountain, I guess. And the best part is that and I've felt this thing about Bangalore, I've not seen it in Delhi ever, is that you can just be yourself. Like there's no gaze on you. Like nobody stares at you, nobody looks at you. And I think that is where I could just be myself, right? I was not performing, I was just being vulnerable. And I think slowly you realize that, like you're finding some sense of yourself. You read some books. Like since the beginning of this year, I've sought out books which were written by women. Categorically, I don't know. It just feels very magical that, life gives you this opportunity. For me, the miracle has happened in happening upon books and TV shows and movies and just I don't know, things that just happen to you. And I think that's where the magic lies, where people say in the power of manifestation. I feel like it's more like things, you seek out things, and when you seek things out, they kind of, it's everywhere, right? And then slowly, like, I think I was talking to somebody and they were like, I was like, how do I know who I am? And then kal मैं ऐसे ही coffee पीते हुए घर आ रही थी, चल रही थी, and it was a beautiful, I think everybody in Bangalore saw a beautiful sunset yesterday, right? And the sun was like, it was almost evening and there was a rainbow, and I was just walking home and I felt joy. And I don't know, I feel like that feeling, that tiny bit of feeling which is like at the back of your mind, I cannot explain it, but that felt like me. And I think maybe someday I will be able to put it into poetry, but this is what it was like.